The fight against corruption seems to be the most talked about topic at every fora in Nigeria today. This is evident with the new onslaught on those believed to have enriched themselves through illegal diversion of state funds to private pockets. A public office is a public trust, so beware. Good evening, my name is Aisha Gambari. Welcome to this week's edition of the program, The Eagle. Presenting the program with me is Aisha Mohammed. Hello.
Hi, Aisha. Good evening and thank you for joining us.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
On the program today, Acting Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Ibrahim Mustafa Magu, has charged members of the Nigerian Bar Association to join hands with the Commission in order to stamp out corruption from the Nigerian society.
The trial of a former Jigawa State Governor Alhaji Sule Lamido alongside his two sons Aminu and Mustafa and two others is progressing, as documents showing how state funds were siphoned by the accused persons are being presented and admitted as exhibit in court.
And two Nigerians, Ojukwu Inamdi Roland and Ingene Linus Chibuke, arrested at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, while attempting to smuggle over $5 million out of the country, have been convicted and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment each by Justice Ibrahim Buba of the Federal High Court, Lagos. Please stay with us as we'll take a short break. All those reports will come your way shortly after. We will be right back.
My name is Kayode Oladele, and I'm the chairman of the House of Reps Committee on Financial Crimes. I want to appeal to all Nigerians that the fight against corruption is not something that will only be, or can only be done and won by the President or the National Assembly alone. It's something that we have to see as a collective challenge of every one of us, and everybody has to be involved in it, right from the primary up to the tertiary to even to the outside world. So it's something that is doable, and with a very good determination, a very good will, we can win.
Glad to have you back. We begin today with the visit of the National Executives of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, to the acting chairman of EFCC, Ibrahim Mustafa Magu. Magu will receive the delegation in his office in Abuja, charge members of the association to join hands with the commission to stamp out corruption from the Nigerian society. Olufemi Adeyemi reports.
Presenting a speech titled "Don't Allow Corruption to Kill Nigeria," Magu decried the practice by some members of the NBA who have been aiding some individuals and corporate organizations to perpetrate economic and financial crimes, adding that some lawyers have been giving the body a bad name with their unprofessional conducts. The anti-corruption czar said the society is not served when prominent members of the bar not only take clearly tainted briefs, but even facilitate the commission of crimes by knowingly supplying the technical know-how and later helping in the dispersal of the proceeds of crime. He said there are lawyers within the fold of the NBA who ought not to be among noble ranks, fit to be called ministers. Rather, they are vandals of the temple of justice.
We are very worried that on a number of occasions, some members of the Nigeria Bar Association have elected to side with those who do not want the good of Nigeria. I believe it is part of the professional ethic code of lawyers to ask questions as to the source of their clients' wealth. Well, we are mindful of the fact that there may be more than one side to a situation which are equally deserving of robust presentation and defense. We believe that no matter the positions we take on any issue, Nigeria should come first.
The EFCC boss further stated that the input of lawyers would be needed to successfully wage the war against fraud, corruption and money laundering, opining that the law enforcement, just as the judiciary, encompassing the bar and the bench, is a critical link in the justice delivery system of any society. Magu, who stated that no other anti-graft agency in Nigeria had beaten the record of the EFCC in the areas of prosecutions and convictions, further described the ordinary Nigerian as the victim of money laundering, embezzlement, diversion of funds and frauds. He therefore urged them to share in the vision of President Muhammadu Buhari's war against corruption, while also congratulating the body for supporting the EFCC over the years. Earlier, Augustine Oyarikwa Alege San, president of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA), who led the delegation, expressed the reason behind the courtesy visit, saying that it was to salute the courage of Magu in the corruption war. He also stated that the EFCC and the NBA need to work in synergy for the war against corruption to be won. He disclosed that the Bar's Anti-Corruption Commission had developed a Know Your Customer KYC template for lawyers, which will hopefully address concerns over members accepting questionable briefs.
If there are areas or fronts you think we should look into regarding our lawyers, you should let us know. If we do not know, there's no way that we can deal with them, which is one of the reasons why we said we should have a meeting.
Also present at the event were top management staff of the Commission, which includes Secretary to the Commission, Emmanuel Adegboyega Aremo, Director of Organizational Support, Bolaji Salami, Director of Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Wakili, and many others. High point of the event was the presentation of the Commission's branded plaque to the NBA President by Magu. Olufemi Adeyemi, reporting for the Eagle.
Welcome back. The trial of a former Jigawa State Governor Alhaji Sule Lamido alongside his two sons, Amina and Mustafa, and two others is progressing, as documents showing how state funds were siphoned by the accused persons are being presented and admitted as exhibits in courts. Olufemi Adeyemi reports.
Lamido and his accomplices are being prosecuted on a 27-count charge by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, before Justice Adeniyi Ademola of the Federal High Court, sitting in Maitama, Abuja. Lamido allegedly abused his position as governor between 2007 and 2015 by awarding contracts to companies where he had interest, using his two sons as fronts. The former governor was equally alleged to have collected kickbacks from contractors in the state, with the funds allegedly paid into the accounts that were managed by his sons. A prosecution witness, Joy Isen, at the last adjourned date of the matter, told the court that she was duty-bound to report any suspicious transactions to the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU. Isen, a senior marketing manager with Zenith Bank, who testified as the ninth prosecution witness, stated this while being led in evidence by counsel to the EFCC, Chile Okoroma. The witness stated that she was in court to present the account opening packages and statements of account of Dantata and Sawe Construction Company, Interior Woodworks Limited, and Rauda Integrated Services Limited, which were admitted in evidence as exhibits. Also in the witness box was Kehinde Aberuagba, a compliance officer with Access Bank PLC, who testified as PW10. Aberuagba stated that his bank was subpoenaed and that he was in court to present the statements of account and account opening packages of Bameina Nigeria Limited, Dantata and Sawe Construction Company, Speeds International Limited, and two accounts relating to Mustafa Sule Lamido. Though the admissibility of the document was strongly contested by Lamido's counsel, Joe Agi San, but his objection was overruled by the court and the document was admitted in evidence as exhibit. Aberuagba, in continuation of his evidence, told the court that Lamido was a signatory to the account of Speeds International Limited. The witness also stated that there was a cash deposit of 10 million naira on the 4th of February 2008 into the account of Bameina Company Nigeria Limited by Aminu Sule Lamido. Having completed his evidence, Okoroma called the 11th witness, Kabiru Mohammed. Mohammed is an investigator and deputy detective superintendent with the EFCC. Mohammed stated that he took 4 additional statements dated November 16, 2013, December 3, 2013, December 17, 2013, and January 27, 2014 from the second defendant, Aminu Sule Lamido, under caution. The documents were tendered and admitted in evidence as exhibits. The witness told the court that he went to Dansata and Saway Construction Company to investigate if Gada Construction Company, Speeds International Limited, and Bamaina Company Nigeria Limited made any supplies of bitumen and cement. He said on getting there, he was shown a register by Dansata and Saway Construction Company from the year 2007 to June 8, 2015 of all companies that made supplies to them. He said he was also given a certified copy, and none of the aforementioned companies supplied anything to Dansata and Saway as claimed. Having listened to all the witnesses, Justice Ademola adjourned to March 8, 9, 10, and 11, 2016 for continuation of trial. The trial of another former governor, Aliyu Akwedoma, a former Nasarawa State governor, and 2 others, is also progressing before Justice A.A. Okeke of the Federal High Court sitting in Lafia, Nasarawa State, with the prosecution counsel Femi Pinheiro San objecting to the prayer of the defense counsel Olalekan Ojo, seeking to tender a document titled Annual Report in the Office of the Accountant General of Nasarawa State of December 31, 2007 to 2011, during the cross-examination of a prosecution witness, Solomon Katsa, a former director of finance. The prosecution counsel told the court that tendering of a document during cross-examination of the witness implied that the defense counsel wanted to contradict or discredit the statement of the prosecution witness. Pinheiro further argued that the document could only be admitted if it emanated from the witness. According to him, there must have been an earlier reference to the document by the witness for the document to be admitted, such that the defense could take him up on it. Addressing the issue of certification of the documents, the prosecution counsel also stated that the document was not in conformity with Section 104 of the Evidence Act. According to him, apart from the first page of the document that is stamped, the entire document has no stamp. The implication is that the other pages are not certified, so they cannot be certified true copies for the purpose of tendering. End of quote. However, in his response, Ojo told the court that the position canvassed by the prosecution counsel was misconceived, adding that it was alien to any Nigerian. Ojo said, and I quote, "It is inconceivable that in Nigerian law that a document cannot be tendered through a party cross-examining a witness who is relevant to the party's case." End of quote. He went on that the relevance of a document should determine its admissibility either during examination in chief or cross-examination. Ojo further told the court that Section 232 of the Evidence Act, as argued by the prosecution counsel, could not be relied upon in its case. After listening to both counsels, Justice Okeke adjourned to March 9 to 11, 2016 and April 29, 2016 for ruling on the admissibility of the documents, respectively. Akwedoma, alongside Timothy Anjide and Dauda Egwa, a former Accountant General, are being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on a 10-count charge bordering on money laundering and financial crimes. The accused persons between January 2007 and December 2009 allegedly conspired and fraudulently laundered state funds to the tune of 8 billion naira, an offense contrary to Section 14, subsection 1A of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2004 and punishable under Section 14, subsection 1 of the same Act. Olufemi Adeyemi, reporting for the Eagle.
Thank you, Olufemi, for that report. In this next report, we take a look at the ongoing onslaught by the EFCC against individuals indicted in the ongoing Armsgate saga involving prominent Nigerians and their cronies. The Eagle team went on the streets of Lagos and Abuja to sample people's opinions on the progress made so far in unraveling these massive fraud. The report.
On May 29, 2015, while being inaugurated as the new president of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari said, and I quote, "As far as the Constitution allows me, I will try to ensure that there is responsible and accountable governance at all levels of government in the country. For I will not have kept my own trust with the Nigerian people if I allow others abuse theirs under my watch." End of quote. With this assertion, the president charged all Nigerians that it will no longer be business as usual as far as the war against corruption is concerned. The era of impunity is over, and nobody will be a sacred cow as long as cleansing the country of corruption is concerned. The redirection of the war against graft started with investigations into the massive fraud that bedeviled the arms procurement process. Notable individuals who are alleged to have in one way or the other diverted funds meant for the exercise were arrested and docked by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC. Prominent amongst them was the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Samba Dasuki, retired, and 4 others who were dragged by the EFCC before Justice Hussein Baba Yusuf of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Maitama, Abuja, on a 19-count charge bordering on money laundering and criminal breach of trust to the tune of over 13 billion naira. Dasuki, who is the first defendant, is charged alongside Shuaibu Salisu, a former Director of Finance and Administration, Office of the National Security Advisor; Aminu Babak Usa, a former General Manager, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation; Acacia Holdings Limited, and Reliance Referral Hospital Limited. Also docked was a former Minister of State for Finance, Bashir Yuguda, and 5 others before Justice Peter Afen, also of the Federal Capital Territory High Court Maitama, Abuja, on a 22-count charge bordering on conspiracy, bribery, abuse of office, and criminal breach of trust to the tune of about 30 million naira. Yuguda, who is the first defendant, is charged alongside with Colonel Muhammad Samba Dasuki, a former National Security Advisor, Shuaibu Salisu, a former Director of Finance and Administration, Office of the National Security Advisor, Attahiru Alhati Bafarawa, a former Governor of Sokoto State, Sagir Attahiru, Bafarawa's son, and Alhati Investment Limited. A former chairman of the People's Democratic Party PDP, who is also an ex-minister of defense, Dr. Bella Halliru Muhammad, and his son, Bella Abba Muhammad, were not left out. The father and son were dragged before Justice A.R. Muhammad of the Federal High Court, Abuja, on a 4-count charge bordering on criminal breach of trust and money laundering. Still within the PDP cycles, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Olisametu, and his company, Destra Investment Limited, was also taken before Justice Okon Agban of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja for allegedly receiving 400 million naira from Dasuki. The EFCC has also beamed its searchlight on the country's military formation, as prominent army generals were also picked up in relation to the arms gate scam. Among them is the ex-chief of defense staff, Alex Badi, and the former chief of air staff, Adeshola Amusu. With all these arrests, Nigerians believe that the fight against corruption in the country has suddenly gone stronger. The EFCC, which is one of the agencies fighting this scourge, has been popular of recent, going by the level of activities going on within the commission. The commission's parking lot, which was mostly occupied by few vehicles belonging to staff, is packed with fleet of cars belonging to either invited suspects, visitors to detain suspects, or their solicitors. Apart from vehicular movement, one can also see people hanging around in the Commission's reception or on the buildings surrounding the Commission's office. This and other noticeable factors clearly show that a lot of activities are taking place at the Commission's headquarters. The Eagle team spoke with some Nigerians regarding this development. Here is what they say.
I can see they are upgrading the new law, like the former. They are improving the way, but the only suggestion I just have is that they should try, they should follow the constitution right about detaining people, taking them to court in time, and they are improving. This time around they are improving. I like the way they are doing their work now. The way the corruption is going before, it's not like before now. The EFCC are changing the pattern during the time of Buhari administration has come in. They have changed the patterns. The way things are going badly in the country, it has been improved. The changes are there. I can commend them for that. I can commend the leadership of the EFCC now. They are putting effort in changing the bad organs of the corruption activity in Nigeria. Even in our banking industry and everything, everything is order now. That's what I can say.
They've been trying their best in the recent time, unlike before, when our brother was there, Brother Joe. As at that time, we were not hearing anything about EFCC. Now that Buhari is back on track, it's like EFCC is back.
Now you hear about people who've taken our money, and that at least now we seem to know who has taken the money. We seem to know where it has gone to, and we seem to know the people involved. They don't seem to care about whose ox is God. You know, everybody they can take down, they'll take down. I think that's a really cool thing that they're doing.
I was going through the article, this present EFCC boss, and he said, "I'm ready to go after any corrupt leader." I think the guy is, the guy is willing. In as much as nobody will try to pull him back. If he's giving you full powers to work, I believe in him. I know he's someone that will want to actually make a difference in the EFCC.
Not but say that there has been a renewed drive by the Commission to push the anti-corruption crusade further. I mean, we have seen a series of arrests they have made, and the effort I think should be commended. You know, so far so good, but you know, in everything there's always room for improvement, and I think that the FCC also needs to tweak their game in order to be more effective in the fight against corruption.
Others, however, said that the Commission has to do more in order to eventually win the war, as the cankerworm called corruption is endemic in Nigeria.
Well, recently I will give it to them regarding the, the arms deal probe. I'll give them a score mark on that one, because if not for that, we wouldn't have even known what really happened. Sending our soldiers down to the war front, not providing anything to them. I mean, they are human beings. You understand? I'll give that credit to EFCC, because since the new dispensation came in, they gave us a light, like, okay, this is what really happened regarding that scam deal. So I'll give them that credit. I'll give them that kudos, yeah. But they need to do more.
With all said and done, it is believed that the country is on the road to winning the war, but a lot more is required by the populace in order to record success in the fight. Nigerians must buy into the fight by supporting the anti-graft agencies and exposing any case of corruption suspected around them. If you have just joined us, the program is The Eagle, coming to you from the EFCC. Two Nigerians, Ojukwu Nnamdi Roland and Ingene Linus Chibuike, arrested at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, while attempting to smuggle over $5 million out of the country, have been convicted and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment each by Justice Ibrahim Buba of the Federal High Court, Lagos. The report is presented from our studios.
Roland was arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on 22nd October 2015 for being in possession of cash in the sum of about $3 million during his outbound clearance for a journey to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Contrary to the requirements of the law, Roland did not declare the money to men and officers of the Nigerian Customs Service and was subsequently arrested and arraigned before Justice Ibrahim Buba. He pleaded not guilty to the one-count charge preferred against him, and the matter went into full trial. Justice Buba found him guilty and sentenced him to 2 years imprisonment. He also ordered that the convict should forfeit the entire sum to the federal government. Justice Buba said that the convict did not do the right thing by failing to declare the money to custom officials. He further ruled that the 2 years imprisonment should take effect from February 9, 2016. Chibuike, on the other hand, was also arraigned on the 22nd October 2015 for falsely declaring the sum of $11,500 out of the sum of over $2 million he had in his possession during an outbound clearance for a journey to China en route Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Chibuike pleaded not guilty to the one-count charge raised against him, and the matter also went into full trial. Just like his co-convicts, Justice Buba found Chibuike guilty and sentenced him to 2 years imprisonment. The judge also ordered that the convict forfeits the sum not declared to the Nigerian customs by him to the federal government. He further ruled that the 2 years imprisonment should also take effect from February 9, 2016. Thank you very much for staying tuned. We hope you continue to tune in as we bring you interesting updates about the activities within the EFCC. But before we call it a day, here are some of our headlines today. We brought you a report on the ongoing trial of former Jigawa State Governor Alhaji Sule Lamido alongside his two sons, Aminu and Mustafa, and two others before Justice Ademola Adeniyi of the Federal High Court sitting in Maitama, Abuja.
We also brought to you a report on the conviction and sentencing of two Nigerians, Ojukwu Nnamdi Roland and Ingene Linus Chibuike, who were arrested at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, while attempting to smuggle over $5 million out of the country.
And the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Mustafa Magu, has charged members of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) to join hands with the Commission to stamp out corruption from the Nigerian society. And that's it on today's edition of the program. Please don't forget to send your feedback to us via the Eagle at efccnigeria.org or search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or Official EFCCNG at gmail.com.
You can also like our page on facebook.com/Official EFCC or follow us on Twitter at Official EFCC. And to watch our programs and other activities, please log on to youtube.com/Official EFCC. My name is Aisha Muhammad. Good evening.
And I'm Aisha Gambari, hoping to see you next week. God bless Nigeria.